अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। From which verse, Diptiji?
33 to 37.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Atha Tritiyodhyayah. Shri Bhagavanuvacha. Sadrisham Cheshtate Swasyaha. Prakrite Jnanavana Api. Prakritim Yanti Bhutani. Nigraha Kinkarishyati. Indriyasyendriyasyarthe ragadveshau vyavastitau tayornavashamagachet tau hyasya paripantinau shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharma swanutishtitat स्वधर्मे निधनं श्रेयः परधर्मो भयावहः। अर्जुन उवाच अथ केन प्रयुक्तोऽयं पापं चरति पूरुषः अनिच्छन्नपि वार्ष्णेय बलादेव नियोजितः। श्री भगवानुवाच काम एषः क्रोध एषः रजोगुणसमुद्भवः महाशनो महापाप्मा विद्येनम् इह वैरिणाम्।
Thank you. And yes, welcome to everyone. Hi. We are now on chapter 3, Karam Yoga. Giving us the fundamental attitude that one must develop towards one's capacity to act. Why do we act? Knowing a basic fundamental law that every karma has a corresponding result. It generates a result. And this is infallible. It cannot be that you do karma, any karma, laukik, vaidik, secular, religious, any karma, anything that employs your organs of action, anything that you do with it, it is not possible that it will fail to generate a corresponding result. Based on this niyam, law, Shastra tells us how karmas, because they bring about a result, if we are not aware of what karmas are to be done, how they are to be done, then impulsively the karmas that we do, swabhavikally the karmas that we do, they bind us to the result which is going to correspond according to the karma. हम बंध जाते हैं उस फल से, उसको अब भोगना ही पड़ेगा. Good and bad, both. It doesn't mean only negative. Both the results will mature in time, and when they mature, you have but no choice but to go through the experience of it. Again, I'm saying good or bad, doesn't matter. But karmas are the ones that are binding us to their results. So, Shastra tells us if you do not want to be bound, then karmas are the same means. You have karmas, you naturally operate. While you are naturally operating, the same means आपके कर्म करने की शक्ति को ही आप अपने एटीट्यूड बदल के जब कर्म करोगे तो वो कर्म आपको फल से बांधेगा नहीं, क्योंकि उसका फल चित्त शुद्धि में जाएगा. So while you will incidentally get the fruits because you're working, but you're not working for some fruit, that change in that attitude, what we have been examining for last so many classes, that change in that attitude that you have, that will bring about a modification of your vritti, of your thoughts. It modifies your thoughts. It modifies how you look at things. It modifies your perception regarding incidences, situations, how you conclude them, whether they are good, not good, whether they're right, wrong, our own conclusions of our own anubhav, of our own experiences that we go through in life. Many experiences we conclude wrongly. Because we conclude them wrongly, we obviously tend to get more caught up in them. Chitta Shuddhi means where your mind is purified enough, is clean, is clear of its own impulsive superimpositions that it does, and that it follows its own prakrit swabhav, you are free of it. So this topic has been going on. Now, 35th verse ended by saying that better is to follow your own swadharma, your own inherent duties based on your inherent nature. What your nature is, what your inclinations are, discover them, think about them, what is closest to your nature, what spontaneously brings about your capacity to act and respond in a situation. What are the higher aspects of your own inclinations? Which are your own higher inclinations? We would all have a mixture of all of them. There will be some inclinations that take us towards a better state of mind, a better seeking. And there are certain states of our mind, certain yearnings that are taking us towards our own lower gati. So he says, Krishna says, stick to your own swadharma, because swadharma is better than following someone else's dharma, which you may think is right for you, which is easy for you. So, even if your own dharma is difficult to follow, still stick to following your own duty, stick to following what is born from your duty. Now, Arjuna has asked a question, and very, very apt. He said, having heard second chapter, third chapter, he says, you just said in the previous verses that there are forces in us. You enumerated many forces. Like what? Those who do not have Shraddha, those who are cavilling my words. Then in the second chapter, you had said, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha. Then you had said, Prakriter Guna Sammudhaha. By your own nature, you get deluded. And when you keep thinking about a thing, then it develops karma, then karma becomes krodha. You've given so many reasons, so many uh, reasons actually, which can become one's obstacles towards one's inner peace. Various verses you have mentioned different things. So now Arjuna asks, tell me, what is that primary, basic force which is pushing us towards doing that whose outcome, knowingly, when we know that in the long run it is going to be harmful for us, but we still are unable to prevent ourselves from moving towards it, from doing it. We still prevent, we are not able to resist it. We still fall for it. We still, as if there is a force in us which pushes us helplessly. You know, when we see these floods, and in the floods, sadly, when you see some things forcefully being carried away by the strength of the by the flow of the water, the strength in the flow of the water, any amount of effort that a person or an animal is putting to save themselves works doesn't work out. It doesn't there it's not enough resistance for them. So forcefully, as we saw yesterday, Ragnya iva prityaha. How does a servant follow an order from a Raja, from from any superior? How does one become so meek, helpless, knowing that you are being asked to do something not right? You still have to follow it. So that Ragnya eva Brityaha is a beautiful example to say how we fall a victim to our own, that force from within that pushes us to doing papam charati. You are doing, abiding in, not just doing, you are abiding in things that will be, whose result will give you papam. That means they will in the long run produce sorrow, unhappiness, unwanted situations in life and struggles in life. तो हम अपने आप को रोकते क्यों नहीं? His question is, आप इतना आसानी से तो कह दिए कि ऐसे ऐसे करोगे तो आई विल टेक केयर ऑफ यू एंड आई विल टेक यू टू योर हायर गति. श्रद्धा रखो मेरे वाक्यों में एंड अर्पण करो अपने कर्मों को, फलासक्ति से अपने आप को छोड़ दो, एंड देन आई विल टेक केयर ऑफ द रेस्ट. Having said that, knowing that this method is useful for us, knowing that this method will be beneficial for us, knowingly, जो आपने कहा है हे भगवान, जानते हुए कि ये हमारा कल्याण करेगा, फिर भी एक्चुअली फिर भी हम वो करते हैं जहां हमारा नुकसान होता है जानते हुए. So here he said Madhusudanji is giving us beautiful reasons. He's actually enumerated the reasons. I like that verse, so we are just taking it up because it will always be a reminder of what are these that are Durmarga Vahakaha. Vahakaha means vehicles. Your vehicles that operate on the roads. Durmarg. What will be Durmarg?
Wrong road.
Wrong road. A wrong lane. If you take to a wrong way, you take to a wrong lane. You take to a lane which is actually harmful for you. What is that lane in a jiva's life which is harmful for us?
जो पाप पे ले जाए
Huh?
ये किसी को नुकसान Prayers, Mark. Prayers.
Prayers. Very good. And what is it actually boiling down to? What is that?
और संसार पे बांधे sorrow and grief.
Sorrow and grief, right? And वो कौन सा मार्ग है?
निश्चित कर्म कराता है
निश्चित कर्म कराता है. Okay, अधर्म.
वापस it will keep bringing you back to संसार.
Okay. There are two ways. Remember the Rath example in Kathopanishad and the Bhagavad Gita's popular example. वो कौन सा मार्ग है जिस पे चल के रथ बिखर जाता है? प्रवृत्ति. ओके. इंद्रियों का मार्ग. वेरी गुड. The path of the senses. That is the path of prayers. इंद्रियों का मार्ग मीन्स जहां हमारे इंद्रियों के घोड़े हमें ले जा रहे हैं, हमारा मन उनके साथ जुड़ जुड़ के वहां वहां जा रहा है, बिना हमारी बुद्धि के इंटरवेंशन के, बिना हमारी बुद्धि उसके बीच में लगे. विदाउट आवर थिंकिंग, विदाउट आवर डिसर्नमेंट, buddhi employed, without our buddhi being employed, whatever our senses feel their attraction and revulsion towards, our mind just reacts and responds to it accordingly. Where is this movement of the senses based on? Indriya ka sukshma vyavhar kahan hai? That we've just done in the previous verse. Where is the indriya operating itself on? On those roads. Why are these horses on those specific roads? What is the base from within?
अपने विषय को follow कर रही है.
हाँ.
Likes and dislikes.
हाँ. And subtler part of it, rag dvesh. Excellent. Rag dvesh hai andar. Because of that raga dvesh, our senses, they operate as likes and dislikes, and our senses are only activated to see things, hear things, smell things, taste things, feel things, means touch. All our senses of perception are responding, activated according to our own ragadvesh. So, when you see something that you think you like, suddenly your eyes sparkle. When you hear something that you have a sanskar of, you have a ragdvesh for, if rag, especially in particular, if you have a rag for it, suddenly your whole antakarnam shines. Your whole mind is feeling excited, happy. That means this raga dvesh which pushes from within, actually ये durmarg hai. So Krishna had said, these are your vairi. Where did he say they are your vairi? Indriyasyarthe, 34th verse. Raga dvesho vyavasthito tayoho na vasham agachet. इंद्रिया अपने अपने इंद्रियों के विषयों पे राग द्वेष के हिसाब से चलती हैं. Based on the raga dvesh, based on our raga dvesh, our own indriyas go seeking their own respective sense objects and sense pleasures. Tayoho na vashamaga. Nobody should fall under their prey. Do not do not be victimized by your raga dvesh. Tauhiyasya. These are your paripanthi. Paripanthi means they are your thieves, they are the robbers on the path. Now, which path is he talking about? Shreyas. the path which takes us towards our own inner unfoldment. Towards inner means towards our own peace, towards our own happiness, towards our welfare. Do not be a victim of your own raga dvesh. That is where it started from. Now, Arjun's question is, you have said so many things that can become paripanthi, that are vairi. They are like thieves. Like what? Madhusudan ji is listed them as if Shraddha Hani means not having Shraddha. Tatha Asuya. Asuya means when you are looking down upon the knowledge of the Shastra, and it's like saying somebody is giving you the right advice for your sake, but you find a flaw in it, you find a fault in it. You are criticizing that very advice and the person who's giving it totally in your welfare, but you are looking at a fault over there. So that is asuya. He says those who have asuya. So one karan is do not have shraddha. Second karan is they have asuya. Third karan is dushta chittatva. Dushta chittatva means what? Jiska chit dusht hai. What is dusht in English? Dusht hai. What would you say?
So it's not, it doesn't think of someone's good.
हाँ
किसी का बुरा सोच.
हाँ दुष्ट है ये. So जिसका चित्त is manipulative and it is wicked. Yes, that's the right word. It's wicked. It's clever. It's wicked. It's manipulative. That is dushta chit. That is another reason. Mood hai. Mood hai means too lazy to think what is right and wrong and too confused in what is right and wrong and deluded, attached, any of the words. That is the fourth reason. प्रकृतेः वशवर्तित्वम. प्रकृति के वश में ही रहते हैं. Which प्रकृति? Their own गुणात्मिक प्रकृति. What is गुणात्मिक प्रकृति? Your own gunas, your sattva, rajas and tamas. You are completely embroiled by your own स्वभाव. आप उसी वश में चलते हो. And boil it down to two things. Again, like yesterday I said, सुख प्राप्ति, दुख निवृत्ति. वही आपका प्राकृत स्वभाव है. उसी के वश में आप राग द्वेष हो. आपके राग द्वेष के हिसाब से, that is another reason, pushkulau is strengthened. Paradharma ruchitvam. While Krishna said nobody should fall for paradharma, Madhusudan ji has added a nice word. किसी की paraधर्म में रुचि नहीं होनी चाहिए. What is ruchi? Interest, curiosity, attraction. You have this ruchi in और लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, वो कैसे है, वो क्यों है. You have a natural curiosity, ruchi, interest. आपकी interest है in what other people are doing. That is your ruchi. So paradharm में अगर रुचि है, चेत, ukta, these have been said. Actually, this is he says a sangraha shastra, sangraha shlok. One of the sangrahas is not tarka sangraha, so he's not mentioned which sangraha, but this is a shlok from one of the sangraha. One who has these flaws means ये कमियां हैं उसके अंदर, अवश्य ही, definitely, these are the vahan, vahakaha, these are the vehicles to take one towards durmarg, towards one's own adhogati, towards one's own bondage, towards one's own samsar, multiplying one's own samsar. Durmarg means, it's like saying at a growing age, I'm sure many of us have been scolded by our elders around us. Be careful of the company you keep. You have your elders always keeping hawk-eyed on you. Who are your friends? Are you in a wrong company? Because in that growing stage of your mind, which is very uh, moldable still, your sensory attractions through some company or the other can take you to a wrong road. Durmarg is a wrong road for your own welfare in the long run. Even forget about long as in your adhyatmic gati, even vyavharik jivan, even everyday life. It'll only go on getting complicated and stressful and full of difficulties. What are those vehicles that make life more difficult? श्रद्धा ना होना. किसमें श्रद्धा ना होना? शास्त्र विचार में. शास्त्र जो रास्ता दिखा रहा है उसमें श्रद्धा ना होना. uh, there is I'll recheck, but it just means making it strong. Pushkalau means making it strong. Strong. But I'll recheck. Ragadvesha, which are very strong. So, what was I saying?
What will take us to the wrong mark,
Ha,
like keeping bad company?
ha. Means that was an example. So, what are these that take us towards our own adhogati? Shraddha, Hani, Asuya, Dushta Chittatvam, Mudhata, Prakrite Vashatvam, Ragadvesha, Paradharma Ruchi. All these are Durmarga Vahakaha. Here now the question comes. Tatra, there, Kamya Pratishitta Karma Pravritti Karanam Apnudya. There, you're boiling it down to काम्य एंड प्रतिशित कर्मा की जो प्रवृत्ति है उसके कारण में इतने सारे कारण बता दिए. उस कारण को अर्जुन is now asking in 36th verse and specifically asking sarvani of all these karan causes of durmarg, of samsara, of one's adogati, of all these sarvani api samapradhanyena karanani, are they all of an equal nature? Means they all have to be addressed. Should I give them equal importance? Samapradhanyena. Are all these reasons that you have said, and also in the second chapter, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha Sangaste Shupajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. Kamat Krodho Bijayate. क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृति विभ्रमः स्मृतिर्भ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशः बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. So where did it all start from? That durmarga vahak. Where did it start from? Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. When you keep on uh, automatically lingering on any like or a dislike, that lingering of your likes and dislikes, आपका मन बहुत आराम से without any resistance, it revels, repeats those thoughts or those experiences of what it liked or what it disliked both ways. जो उसे अच्छा लगा और जो उसे अच्छा नहीं लगा, लेकिन अपने आप मन उसमें dwell कर रहा है as in it is reveling in it, it is enjoying it, it is multiplying those thoughts. ध्यायतो, बार बार उसके ऊपर ध्यान करके, उन विषयों पे ध्यान करते, उन विषयों के बारे में बार बार सोच के, what was happening? You were strengthening your ragadvesh. Dhyayato Visha. So therefore, you have already said that Purvam Anartha Moolam Uktam. You've already given it as one of the root causes of one's fall. Vinashyati, आप बोल चुके हो. This is the ladder of fall of a human being. You have already said that in the second chapter. Then also now you said Prakrite Guna Sammudhaha Bahuvistharam Kathitam. You have said it in great elaboration that how beings are propelled by their own Prakriti. What can even a wise person do? Even a wise person is caught up by his own Prakriti. Then the discussion had started. That means there is no free will. That means everything is destined. And that portion, Krishna had now started saying, no, you have a free will. You have the capacity to stop this natural flow of your senses. And having given these reasons now, Arjuna wants to say, there seems to be so much work to do. मैं कौन से शुरू करूं? श्रद्धा से शुरू करूं? असूया से शुरू करूं? दुष्ट चित्तत्वम. I keep having these, you know, my mind gets uh, wrong thoughts, let's put it this way, which can harm someone else. Then I'm always Ragadveshi. I like to act on them and I have a lot of interest, or some interest at least, in what other people are doing. Why is it that that grass is always greener on the other side? वो ऐसा क्या कर रहे हैं? You know, we also look, ऐसा क्या कर रहे हैं? ऐसा वहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? वो कैसे? All that interest in other people's lives and other people's occupations or how they do. That paradharma ruchi, not swadharma ruchi, paradharma ruchi, and all these. Therefore, important question is Sarvani, all these that you have mentioned. That's how many did we count here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 7. Mudha, 7.
Seven.
Huh,
Seven.
7. And then Dhyayato Vishayan, then Prakriti Guna. So these are all examples given. Fundamentally, he's saying Samapradhanya. Should I give, are they the means that have to be looked into equally? Should I address each of them separately? एक करके, should I look at them? Should I handle all of them one by one? Because that is very, very overwhelming. To think that I have to look at all of this within myself if I have to get freed of samsara. Athava, or else, ekam eva mukhyam karanam, or else, is there only one main karan? Itarani tu tat sahakarini kevalam. That should be one main, and the rest can be sahakari, means they are incidentally there. They also contribute, but they are secondary. So there should be some primary cause, and the rest are all secondary causes. Is it like that? Tatra adye sarvesham prithak prithak nivarane mahan prayasaha. Because, but natural, if I have to start addressing all of them separately, he's saying it is mahan prayasaha. बहुत प्रयास करना पड़ेगा. Mahan prayas. It will require a lot of effort. अन्त्ये तु एकस्मिन् एव निराकृते कृतकृत्यता स्यात् इत्यतः ब्रूहि मे. If there is only one cause, then kritakrityata syat. I can perhaps have some accomplishment. I can accomplish it if there is only one that I have to address. Kena hetuna prayuktaha. What is that one? When he asks atha kena prayuktaha, what is that one cause? Prayuktaha here means preritaha. What is that one hetu, reason, which inspires us? Anuvarti, mata ananuvarti. To not follow what your mata is. Mata, we said, is your teaching is. What you have just taught us. What was the mata? In which verse did he give his mata? Anybody remembers? ये त्वत्तभ्यसूयन्तः न अनुतिष्ठन्ति मे matam. This is my mata. What? The ones who do not do asuya, or else the ones who do asuya and do not have shraddha, sarva jnana vimudhaha. They are deluded from all knowledge. Know them, tan vidhi. Know them, nashtan achetasaha. That their own antakaranam will be destroyed. Exactly as he said in Dhyayato Vishayan Punsaha. Means that human potential, human being will be destroyed. What do we mean by destroyed? This needs a lot of reflection. I keep repeating it, maybe because people don't understand there is something called how we destroy our own lives. We may be living, जिंदा तो सब हैं, मगर अपने ही जीवन को हम नष्ट कर देते हैं, अपने स्वभाव हम ऐसा बना लेते हैं, या हम ऐसी चीजों को सीख करते हैं जिन चीजों को पाने से हम डिस्ट्रॉयड हो जाते हैं, हम नष्ट हो जाते हैं. Lot of examples in society you see that they are destroyed. People are, you are still living, but your life is destroyed. So that he had said, me matam. Whereas the opposite he had said in 31st verse, ye me matam idam nityam anutishtanti. This is my mata. That if you constantly follow these principles, and that nityam anutishtanti and nityam matam, this eternal knowledge of mine, this eternal teaching of mine. Opinion is a wrong word. Mata translates as opinion. Opinion is a wrong word. This eternal teaching of mine, if you have Shraddha and Anasuya, you do not find fault in what I say, Muchyante karma bhihi. You'll be freed of the realm of karma and phala, samsara. You'll be freed of punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Saying that, here, therefore, he says, knowing that your matam is liberating, kritakritya tak le jata hai, it liberates a person from the cyclical existence, then also tvat mata ananuvarti. Why is it that people cannot follow this teaching? Sarva jnana vimudhaha purushaha. Deluded from all sides, from all knowledges, and we said deluded from all knowledges means pramana, prameya, prayojan. Deluded from all of them. What is the right knowledge for what? What is the purpose of my existence? What am I seeking? सब में confusion है उस इंसान को, जिन इंसानों को. तो वो क्या करते हैं फिर? पापम अनर्थ अनुबंधी. They are now getting caught up, बंध जाते हैं in those things that are papam. Sarvam phala abhisandhi purasaram. Always attracted by, united to, phala abhisandhi. मुझे क्या मिलेगा? Attracted to results, attracted to what will I get, attracted to profit and loss, attracted to hani and hani and love. Phala abhisandhi. Purasara means keeping it forward. Phala के साथ अभिसंधि जुड़ के, फलों से जुड़ के उसको आगे रख के, काम्यम कर्मा, चित्रादि. Chitradi is doing whatever your kamya karmas are. And Shatruvad sadhanam cha shenadi pratishittam. And other karmas. In kamya karmas, there is a certain kind of a ritual probably, which is shena yaga, which is when you have a desire to harm someone. जिसको आप शत्रु देखते हो, उसका आपको वध करना है, उसका साधन है शेन यज्ञ. or pratishiddham karmas, which is kalanj, bhakshana, adi. Eating what? Kalanja, bhakshana.
Eating meat
Yeah,
of others.
yeah. It's killing and eating meat of others. Bhakshanadi means what Shastra has said, pratishiddham, do not. आप उसकी तरफ खिंचते हैं. बहुविधम कर्मा आचरति. In many ways, acharati means you are following karmas. Bahuvidam, बहुत सारे. Swayam kartum anichhannapi na. Even when I don't want to do all this. That's the important part. I don't want to do kamya and pratishiddha karma. फिर भी स्वयं अनिच्छन्नपि कर्तुम न तो निवृत्ति लक्षणम परम पुरुषार्थ अनुबंधी त्वत् उपदिष्टम कर्म इच्छन्नपि करोति. न करोति, that first न with करोति, नहीं करते. क्या नहीं करते? But contrast to the previous sentence, न करोति, नहीं करते. क्या नहीं करते? निवृत्ति लक्षणम, those karmas that will withdraw me from these kind of activities, which take me to my harm, which make me do papam. Nivritti lakshanam, which are parama purushartha anubandhi, which actually will tie me down, which will bind me to parama purushartha. Tvat upadishtam, what you have taught. Tvat, by you, what is taught by you. Karma ichchanapi na karoti. We do not do those actions. So if you take these two sentences, means knowing that these are kamya and pratishiddha karmas and I should not be doing, and they're against your mandate, I still cannot prevent myself. I helplessly follow them. On the contrast, those karmas that you have upadishtam, you have taught that we should follow, which is nitya naimittika karma, swadharma karma, karam yog now in this context. Up to this, as we move forward in Gita, you will see more added from the standpoint of upasanas, but we are sticking to the context. So in that context, so far Gita has reached up to the point of Karma Yoga, addressing Arjuna that he should be doing his duties, teaching him with what spirit he should be doing those duties, and not get confused about other things, the outcome of the war. Excuse me. So he says, we seem to be not following your upadesha. A simple word, let's put it this way. Knowing that we should follow your upadesha, knowing that we should follow Shastra Drishti, knowing that we should follow Shastra's method, knowing that we should follow what is right for us, and knowing that this is wrong for us, we still can't prevent it. And we still can't make ourselves wholehearted is the word. Wholeheartedly follow your command. Follow your teaching. Command may be a wrong word. Follow what you have taught us. Wholeheartedly, we still are not able to do that. Karoti. Nacha paratantriam vina ittham sambhavati. And also, and without external force. And it is not that there is some sort of an external force that is forcing us. It's not an external force that seems to be forcing us. ऐसा परतंत्रता पराधीनता के बिना तो संभव नहीं है. So what he means to say here is, it is that ragnya iva bhrityah. He says the way we move towards doing what we should not do and are not able to bring ourselves to doing what we should do This doesn't seem to be possible unless and until we are forced by someone. Paratantriam, as if someone is forcing us to do it. Huh? That force कोई push करता है जब, as if I don't have swatantrata. Paratantriam, I am dependent completely. Somebody is making me do it. He says, Attaha yena balat eva niyojitaha. Therefore, the word balat has been used by Arjuna here. Balat eva. Forcefully. Why forcefully? Because it is not possible unless and until someone forces us to do this. So, where is that force? Niyojitaha means somebody pushes us to do it. Ragya iva britya. So, here also Madhusudanji is giving the same example, expanding it. Knowing how a britya tu unmata viruddham sarva anartha anubandhitvam janan api tadrisham karma acharati tam anartha marga pravartakam mam pratibruhi gyatva. So just as this helpless force we are following, taking us towards our own adhogati, tell us, what is that force? I'll put it in another word. Teach us what is that force. We are not able to identify. It is as if someone is pushing us. Paratantriam. कोई मुझे खींच रहा है, मेरे स्वतंत्रता के बिना मेरी स्वतंत्रता छीनी गई है. ये क्या भाव है हम में, या ये क्या फोर्स है हम में? बहाव इज द वर्ड, नॉट भाव. ये कौन सा बहाव है हम में which is taking me there? Hey Varshneya, this Madhusudan ji is just giving a little extra flavor. As I said, he has this in his commentary. Every word he gives this little emotional tinge to those words. So Varshneya, Arjun called him Varshneya. Arjun called Krishna Varshneya, which means Vrishni Vamsha. Born in a Vrishni Vamsha. And Arjun says that Vrishni Vamsha is Mat Mata Mahakule. It is my mother's side. Kula of my mother means my mother's lineage. My mother comes from Vrishni Kula. So, Kripaya Avatirne, you have by grace taken birth in my mother's, what is Kula in English? In my mother's lineage. Lineage. In my mother's lineage. Therefore, Sambodhanena, Varshneya, Varshnei Sutaha Aham. I am a son of that. I am also a child born in the same. Aham Tvaya na apekshaniya iti suchyate. Means I don't have any apeksha from you. Tvaya, by you. I know that you will give me the right advice. Evam Arjunena Prishte. In this manner, when Arjun has asked this question, what is the question? Take the spirit of the question, then the answer gets clear. I always maintain, if the questions are not clear, your answers will not hit home. The answers that Bhagavan says will not hit home. They will not impact the antakaranam, because we don't recognize our own states. Thanks to Shastra, thanks to this conversation Arjun and Krishna are having, that it helps us to at least identify what is it that has to be dealt with. So he says, this force that you're referring to, you have given me a lot of reasons that are my vairi, that if I operate on them, they will become means for my durmarg, gati. That force, tell me with certainty? One, or do I have to address all of? Is there something mukhyam, primary that I can address, or I have to address all of them? In this manner, खलु आहुः काममय एव अयं पुरुष इति आत्मैवेदम् अग्रे आसीत् एक एव सः अकामयत जाया मे. Okay, so Shruti word here. Now we'll do the Shri Bhagwan Uvacha. Therefore, now Bhagwan is answering. Did we take this verse yesterday? Did we start?
No.
No. Okay. Can you chant this twice?
Yes, Nityji. Shri Bhagavanuvacha काम एषः क्रोध एषः रजो गुणसमुद्भवः महाशनो महापाप्मा विध्येनम् इह वैरिणम्. श्रीभगवानुवाच काम एष क्रोध एषः रजो गुणसमुद्भवः महाशनो महापाप्मा विध्येनम् इह वैरिणम्.
So he says, what is that one force? That force is kamaha. This is kamaha. Kamaha, in a very casual way, can be translated as desire. This is kamaha. This is krodhaha, anger. Rajo guna samudbhavaha, born from rajoguna, rajas, a product of rajas. This is that one force which is taking us to doing all this nishiddha karmas and kamya karmas. All of them, that one force is kama. Kama, and that itself is krodha. When kama gets obstructed, it becomes krodha. Of rajas, rajoguna samudbhavaha. What is its nature? Maha ashanaha. It is a great consumer. Ashanaha, khata hai. It is a great consumer. Means it, however much you fulfill a desire, a great consumer means it never feels fulfilled. It wants more. The example normally given is just as fire. If you light a little fire and you say, okay, let me put just a little fuel. Now, putting that little fuel, you think it will quieten it. But that little fuel flares it further. And then that little flare that comes up wants more of fuel and it flares further. So it never is satiated to say that, okay, I have had enough, I will extinguish now. Fire will not extinguish itself. It will go on feeding as much as it gets. It will go on taking in whatever it is fed. Maha ashanaha. It is a great eater. Yeah. And maha papma. It is a great पाप. It is a great पाप कराता है. great महापाप कराता है. विद्धि, नो, जानो. इह, विद्धि एनम इह, know this to be the vairi, to be your prime enemy. मुख्य वैरी क्या है? मुख्य थीफ कौन है जो आपका मार्ग में आपकी चित्त शुद्धि को खींच के ले जाता है? कौन है वो मेन थीफ? दैट मेन थीफ, मेन ऑब्स्टिकल that creates the main obstacle is kamaha. Kamaha esha. Krodha esha. This is kam, this is krodh, born from Rajas. And also, Madhusudanji gives another vigraha of this, where he says, Kam is born from Rajas, and Rajas itself gives force to the Kam. So Rajas is the force behind the Kam, and Kam itself is a product of Rajas. So they kind of cyclically coexist. One feeds the other. Both of them, meaning is Rajas is from where it is born, because of Rajas. Now here Bhagwan, Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Now Shankara, for the first time in the Gita, here with the help of Vishnu Puran, gives the meaning of Bhagavan. We saw that even though Shri Bhagavan Vacha started in the second chapter, over there Shankara did not elaborate the meaning of Bhagavan. This is this is just an observation. He brings that meaning here. Bhagwan kise kehte hain? And it's the verses we have seen before. This is where it comes from. And here in the Bhashyam, Shankara gives it also. Aishwarasya, there should be Dharmasya. I think I didn't get a chance to check another text. Bhashyam. Dharmasya samagrasya viryasya yashasaha shriyaha vairagyasya atha mokshasya shannam bhaga itirana. Anybody remembers we did this verse before? Bhaga is the collection. Shannam, 6 qualities. When they are in their full measure, there is no limitation, limitless expression of these qualities. 6. Limitlessly when they exist, where they exist in without limitation, where they exist without any infinitely, where they are always in infinite measure. Where Aishwarasya means overlordship, having the capacity to rule over. Dharmasya means Samagrasya means in complete measure, full measure. In full measure, having overlordship over his creation. He is a master of the creation. Complete. Whatever is required to rule, it's in complete measure. Samagra hai. Dharmasya, complete dharma, righteous. Viryasya, to rule this, you need strength, full strength. Strength in complete measure is Bhagavan. Yashasaha means yash, yash, fame. He's popular. There's a great, it's a way of saying in Bhagavatam and all that, these Bhagavatkaras would say it. भगवान का यश ऐसा है, वो कोई दुष्कर्म के जैसे भी कुछ होता है ना, like Krishna, he's stealing away gopis, so-called, vastra, or he's makhan chor, or when he retreats from the war, he's ranchor. Even his so-called casual things which will be looked down upon for another person, Bhagwan ko usme bhi yash milta hai. We glorify, means he's glorified on that also. That is complete yash. Total fame. Shriyaha, wealth. He's got the entire wealth. Vairagya, that is why he's Bhagwan. Having all this, his Vairagya is also in complete measure. Atha mokshasya, and he's completely free. In this manner, the one who has these, he is a Bhagavan. And Who is saying these words? Shri Bhagavan. Uvacha. Uvacha meant is a form saying बहुत पहले कहा था, which is not in our time frame. Means not ours, not our grandfathers. It's a usage of long, long ago. That long, long ago, none of us have seen, our forefathers haven't seen. That is Uvacha. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. He is a Bhagwan. Aishwaryadi Shatakam Yasmin Vasudeve. Nityam apratibandhena samasthena chavartate. I think some little you would understand. Aishwaryadi Shatak, all these 6 qualities. Yasmin, जिसमें. कौन है वो जिसमें? वासुदेवे, in Vasudeva. Nityam, eternally, always, changelessly. Apratibandhena, without any break, without any cut, without any obstruction, without any change. Samasthena, in complete measure, vartate, exists. Utpattim pralayam chaiva bhutanam agatim gatim. It is also where all the beings come and go. Utpatti of the creation and pralaya of the creation also. Of all the beings, unka आना जाना जहाँ है, that is sthan, that place where all of this, sthan is a wrong word, where all these are unmeasured and exist, where all beings come and go, who get their existence because of this. Bhagwan, he is Bhagwan. Veti vidyam avidyam cha sa vachya Bhagavan iti. He know him to be Vidya and Avidya. Means has the knowledge. He knows what he has the knowledge. He is a complete knowledge. That's the best way to put it. Cha Vijnanam, wisdom also. Sa Vasudevaha Vachyaha Bhagwaniti. That Vasudev is called Bhagwan. So having given this, so he knows what? Utpatyadi Vishayam, the origin of all the beings. Adi is dissolution, resolution, means in other words, as Ishvara. Bhagwan, another word is Ishvara. I often keep saying this. There's a lot of confusion in people for actual reasons also, correct also, that confusion is भगवान और ईश्वर एक ही है क्या? भगवान और ईश्वर एक ही है, बस नाम अलग अलग हैं. When it comes to more sagunatvam, more vyaktitvam, more vyaktata, means more manifestation, that is called Bhagwan. In its subtler form, more unmanifest, it is Ishvara. That Ishvara is the manifestation of Brahman. Brahman is first expression is in the manifest as Ishwar with Maya Upadhi of Brahman. Maya Upadhi is Ishwar's Upadhi, means Ishwar ka sharir hai, and that is the whole creation comes from there. So Maya Upadhi is Ishwara. From Ishvara, Bhagwan means more manifestation of Brahman ka sara, formless, touchless, objectifiable less. I'm sorry, my words may be mixing up. You cannot objectify Brahman. That in the external objectification, as it starts to come, that Bhagwan is still Brahman with Ishwar, Maya Upadhi as Ishwar. But now it starts to being having a form. You can give it any form. You can give it, call it Vishnu, you can call it Shiva, you can call it any form. But that where you attribute it as Bhagwan can only be one which has all these in their full measure, unobstructed. I just hope I've been managed to convey a little about this. Is it clear?
So is the order Bhagwan, Ishwar, and then Brahman in terms of
Say that again.
Bhagwan is the most visual form with a form.
Yeah.
Then Ishvara and then Brahman.
Yes. Yeah. So the tangible form means where you can bring him in a idol. You can give a form to it now. Those qualities you can formalize. Let's put it this way. Where you can visualize the qualities as a form. And then it becomes a means for you to contact it. You can now contact Bhagwan. How? You are actually contacting Brahman when you contact Bhagwan. That Bhagwan, where you are looking as a source of all these qualities in full measure, anywhere where you look at it, this is nothing but Brahman manifest here in full measure. And that is in creation, that is in everything, and that is how Karma Yoga becomes possible very soon. Because here you're getting the vision of what is Bhagavan. He is saying these words, he is saying the laws that are being laid out. And by following this, the whole process as we are seeing, I won't repeat for now, another time maybe. And therefore, that Bhagwan as Ishvara is also karma phala data. Never forget that. Why is Bhagwan making, why is there a need for a creation? All this full measure is required. इसी में से भगवान creation बना रहा है. इसी में से creation बना है. What is the need for a creation? To allow all beings to live their own karma phala, to experience their own karma phala. So according to each one, they get their own karma bhumi. In that karma bhumi, they have their own karma phala, which they experience. He is the knower, veti, vidyam, avidyam. He knows everything. He knows, what is it? The dissolution, appearance, and disappearance of all the beings, and is aware also of knowledge and ignorance. Avidyacha. Vidyacha, avidyacha. Veti. He knows. I think we'll end here. Then now he will give us the real reason, and this needs a little extra attention, separate topic in a way, means force. This is a primary. So in that sense, it will need fresh mind. Kamaha iti. Now he's coming to Kamaha. Sarva loka shatruhu yat nimitta. This Kamaha, very important. If someone can help me, we saw the definition of Kama somewhere. I always keep saying I'll write it down separately and then I keep forgetting. No? Kamaha very clearly was defined. That Kamaha, Sarva Loka Shatru, it is the enemy of the entire world. सबका सबका एक कॉमन एनिमी है. सबका एक ही कॉमन एनिमी है that they have to fight. What is that enemy? Yat nimitta, who becomes the nimitta. Nimitta means the means. The means for sarva anartha prapti. Anybody who doesn't understand the word sarva anartha prapti? सब अनर्थ को पाने वाला. काम ही एक है Eshaha kamaha. This calm, desire. In some places, people call it as vasna. We refrain from the use of the word vasna, but desire, that trishna, to fulfill oneself, that is sarvaloka shatru. Who is in the sarvaloka? Prani naam, sab प्राणियों का अनर्थ प्राप्ति का कारण निमित्त बनता है ये काम सब प्राणियों का अनर्थ प्राप्ति का निमित्त बनता है. Like for example, what is that verse we said? Moth is attracted to the flame. And what happens? Desire. Fish is attracted to the bait. What happened? It had a desire. It followed the desire and it lost its life. There's this joke. You even see it when you go to hill stations and there's certain places where monkeys are taking food, snatching food from you. People say, वो जो खींच रहा है अपने अपने लिए खींच रहा है उसको पिटाई भी उसी को होती है फिर उसका means he's so excited to fill his own desire that he gets beaten by it. सब प्राणियों का है. So what are we talking about? Humans who have these 5 senses which are powerfully taking us towards their objects. So we are that much more vulnerable to receiving our anartha if we allow these senses to be running on the grounds of ragadvesh. That is kama. And then he'll talk a little about it. That kama itself, pratihataha, when it gets obstructed. Kenachit, by whoever, whatever it sees as an obstruction to that fulfillment of the desire, krodhatvena parinamate. That kama gets converted into, gets transformed into krodha, anger. Attaha krodha api eshaha eva. That is why krodha is also is like included in the desire. They are both the same. Wherever there will be a desire, there will be anger when it is obstructed. That sometimes creates fear when you get it, but idea is there will be anger. Rajo guna samudbhavaha. It is born from Rajogun. Rajascha tat gunascha rajoguna samudbhavaha. Yasya saha kamaha rajoguna samudbhavaha rajogunasya va samudbhavaha kama hit adbhutaha raja. We'll take this in the next class. Okay. So far, okay. And yes, Prekshita, welcome. I saw before, but
Thank you, ma'am.
I hope there was something you could relate.
Yes.
First class. But just stay with it, and I'm sure you'll slowly grasp because we're almost at the end of the chapter. So, but I'm sure it'll get picked up. If anything's not understood, you can always ask. Okay?
Sure, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome. So, anybody else has a question?
Priti, can I ask a question?
Ji.
So, all our gunas, are they mostly related to prarabdhas?
Prarabdha.
Because of your previous birth, and that's why you have these kind of tendencies in this birth.
Very good question. Yeah, you can. Your present set of gunas is your prarabdha.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you need to improve on that after getting the knowledge then.
The only difference is the word prarabdha is used in reference to karma phal.
Okay.
Because you cannot alter it, you cannot change it.
Mm-hmm.
So But gunas are something, though you have what you have, it's another way of looking at your own swabhav. प्रारब्ध is not your स्वभाव. प्रारब्ध तो
Okay.
आपका फल है जो आपको
Right.
भोगना है.
Mm-hmm.
स्वभाव आपका गुण है, आपके गुण है.
Okay.
आज आपके गुण, हाँ, आज के लिए आप कह सकते हो कि आपने जो पिछला किया है उसके हिसाब से आपका स्वभाव आज ये है. मगर स्वभाव बदल नहीं सकते करके आप नहीं कह सकते, इसलिए यू कैन आइडियली कॉल इट अ प्रारब्ध.
Prarabdha. Okay. Okay. Fine. Got it.
Yeah, good question. Okay, everyone. So
It was a beautiful class. Very nice.
Yeah, thank you and Swagatam again for it. This is all Bhasham. The minute you touch upon these words, sometimes you just feel so limited in expressing them because of the language limitation of Sanskrit. But this is pure knowledge. To be able to identify मेरे जीवन की क्लेश कहाँ है, या मेरे जीवन में स्ट्रेन कहाँ से आता है, या मेरे जीवन में दुख कहाँ से आ रहा है, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. Whoever wants to unravel and pick up that thread, this is exactly the center point of it. यहाँ से you can unravel. And those who would say, yes, I have a relative peace, they know why they have that relative peace because of this unraveling. From here, there is a next class when this verse gets complete. For next 2-3 verses, Krishna is going to talk about kamaha, because as we have just seen, it is your primary force which makes you do things that you should not be doing. Therefore, he will conclude at the end to say that do not grow your ragadvesh, because your ragadvesh is another term for your kam. And it's a huge advice to a human being. It's a huge learning to a human being.
So if you simplify that ragadvesh, you need to have an attitude that everything is okay in life.
Yes. Everything is actually okay. Actually, it is okay in life. There is absolutely, that's actually the right word. It is okay. Tatakim. I was going to say that. Tatakim. Tatakim. So what? So what? If I get it, so what? If I don't get it, so what? There's a much larger picture to life than our desires show us. Our happiness doesn't depend upon our desires. In other words, there's a far larger picture, scope. There's a far larger, greater scope to identify where our happiness really lies. Okay? So we'll end here. Yeah. Can you end, please?
Yes. Sarvesham swastirbhavatu, Sarvesham shantirbhavatu, Sarvesham purnam bhavatu, Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu, Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, Sarve santu niramayaha, Sarve bhadrani pashyantu, Ma kaschit dukh bhag bhavet. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam, Nyayena margen mahim mahisha, Go brahmanebhya shubhamastu nityam, Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, Kale varshatu parjanyah, पृथ्वी सस्यशालिनी, देशोऽयं शोभरहितः, ब्राह्मणा सन्तु निर्भयाः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Thank you so much.
Recording stopped.
Thank you. Yes. Correct verse.
धन्यवाद दीप्ति।
Dhanyavad and everyone. Swagatam. We'll see you next Saturday or tomorrow for the Bhagavad class. Thank you so much. Yeah. Are you? Thank you, everyone.